everybody! It is a new year, first video. And like every year, I feel like we do a 2025 reading wrapped. No, we don't do 2025 every single year. Previous year, reading wrapped. 2025 this time. I have my books there and I have my iPad with my stats. So let's get into it. I read 15 books in 2025. Honestly, before I looked into my statistics, I thought it was like 11 or 12. So I was like positively surprised by 15, but then again, my goal was 30. So 15 is kind of shit, innit? Anyway, so that is basically what that is. Mostly print books, mostly English books, kind of like medium paced type of books. I've read most in January and May. God knows why. And my average rating is 3.630 stars, but I do have to say that majority of the books I did not rate, like in Storygraph. I don't even know why, but usually when I finish a book, obviously I log it into Storygraph. So I'm right there and I could just put in like a number, but I don't know why it's like that. I never do. I don't know. Maybe I don't like to judge, but the worst rating is 1.5 stars and the best one is 4.25. So quite the difference. But let's check the exact books that I have read. I have all of them here, apart from one because it's an ebook. And I'm going to show you what we got. We start with earliest finished to latest finished. Hello, can you? No. Technical difficulties, guys. Okay. Let's get right into it. First book I've read in 2025 is this. If you read this, this is a children's book actually. I didn't know this. I've seen this and I bought it, I think even online maybe. And it sounded like a good story. And then I started reading it. And then when I went to log in my first bit of reading and looked through the editions Storygraph has, I saw that there was Pushkin's Children on here. But it was a good book from what I remember. I gave this 3.75 stars. Easy read, obviously. It's a children's book, come on. But yeah, it was very nice from what I remember. She lost her mum, which is not a spoiler, it's on the back. She's lost her mum and it's kind of like a bit about the struggle between her and like her dad and like generally in like the family and how everything is going. And then she finds this letter from her mum and it kind of sends them on like an adventure and it eventually brings her and her dad and like the family and stuff closer, which is very, very sweet. So good first read of the year, quick read as well. Finished this within the first week. 3.75 stars. Would I read it again? I don't know. The thing is, I'm not really a reading a book kind of person. Like, do you guys do that? I don't know. But it was a good book. I do recommend. I feel like especially if you have kids, kind of like, I would say probably 10, 12-ish, I would reckon. Maybe a bit older, I don't know. Could be a thing. Then we have my only German book of the year, which was an accident, actually, is Pizza Girl. I bought this online secondhand, and I was convinced it was an English copy. Then I came here, I was like, oh, this looks oddly German. It is, in fact, very, very German. But it was a good read. I gave this 4 stars. I think the beginning I was a bit like, what is going on? And I wasn't too sure about the main character. But it was a good development. I think towards the end I was also kind of like, what the fuck is going on? But good, would do again. I feel like very different from what I usually read in a way. Because it was kind of like this struggling girl and then the relationship she has with her mom and her boyfriend and her kind of like shitty job and the fact she was expecting, and I don't know, but it was very good. Probably would recommend, definitely. I would love to read the English version of it, because I feel like maybe if you're German you can like relate to this if you read German and English books. I feel like there are certain German words that just don't sound as nice as the English one would. And I had this a couple of times in this book where I was like, I know it's translated correctly, but it's like, what is this? You know? So this 4 stars. We love. Moving on, we go over to Instagram story poetry. Basically, I gave this 4.25 stars. I don't know why. Please love me at my worst. I actually don't remember anything about this. Classic Instagram story poetry type thing. Marked a couple pages. It wasn't, the thing is, I feel like 4.25 stars is quite a high rating, but I'm not very picky. And also, it's kind of like, you can't really go wrong with these, so why would I rate this? Like, it's not crazy, like something totally new, but why would I rate it lower just because it does the job and it does what it's supposed to do, you know? So this was nice. Good pick-me-up. I like these books kind of to get out of a reading slump, have a quickish read, have a bit of like a little motivational in there. Yeah. Honestly, the thing is, I feel like these are, for what it is and for what is in there, I feel like these are quite expensive. I always get these secondhand because like I'm not paying full price. And I mean, depends on where you get it, but this is in pristine condition for being secondhand, and I've paid, I think, like half the price. Next one is a similar one. 4 stars, The Strengths and Our Scars, and I think the reason is for 0.25 stars less than the other one, that this has a lot of like longer pieces in there, which then kind of defeats my point of I want a quick read, like very, very quick read to get out of a reading slump. But it was still good. Marked a couple of pages again. Yeah, I liked it. It's also different authors, so I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really make that big of a difference though. Then I forgot about this, low-key. This one is the next one. I did not rate this. Off the top of my head, from what I remember, I would go for 3.754 4 stars probably. It was very good, very sweet little love story, set in Scotland, and I liked their chemistry. The only thing I have, from what I remember, I'm not 100% sure, but I think there was like a pullback kind of towards the end where I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you guys are so close. And then it was like the classic happy ever after, we figure it out. But it was, I feel like specifically the very last bits, I was like, okay, this and this is going to happen, and it happened, you know. But still very good, would recommend. I've never checked out the author, to be honest. Maybe I have to see if there's more similar books from her. But very sweet. And I mean, I'm a sucker, guys, for romance, obviously. You know this. But I'm also a sucker. Like, I watched Outlander religiously. Never got around to reading the books. Kind of half read them, half audiobook. You know, like, never really finished. Watched the series anyway. But, like, you will get it. Scottish man. Big, beefy Scottish man. If you know, you know. So, yeah, really, really like this. Probably would rate it 4 stars. Might have to go back into my statistics and I mean, it's not really ranking them because I never put a number on it, but probably 4 stars. Love this. Then we have more Insta story poetry. We have, I'm just going to show you both. Didn't put a review in. Same author. One is a bit chunkier. We have these two, which are You'll Come Back to Yourself and When He Leaves You. And I like these from what I remember, but it's kind of like the same, like the ones before. Like, it does the job. It's nothing crazy, nothing super new, nothing, you know. But it does the job. It's nice. I marked a couple pages in both of them. Do I ever really go back to the marked pages? No, but I feel like I never do this with a book. I don't know, like, is there people, genuine question, is there really people that annotate books for themselves and then randomly go back and read the annotations? Like, is that a thing? Because I feel like it's not. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Probably would rate them similar to the other ones, like the other ones that kind of fit this description. They do the job. It's nothing crazy, but they also, like, it's good, you know, might as well. Then we have Let me go through my stack of runes. We have How to Fake It in Hollywood, and I feel like this took me a long time to read, but not because it was bad. I do remember liking this. So she is an actress, but she did kind of like as a teen and stuff, like she did like a very long series, and that now kind of ends, and she's kind of like, what do I do now? Because she's very known for this specific role. And then she gets paired up with, I think he's also an actor, or like an ex-actor. They get paired up to fake date, but obviously because they have to spend time together, how long is it really fake? You guys know how it goes. But it was very good. They have good chemistry a lot of the time. I feel like it took a bit long, in my opinion, from what I remember. I didn't rate this, probably would give this 3.5, 3.75, 3.75. But it was good. And also his ex-wife is in the story, because they co-parent, and her new partner as well. Like not a lot, but you know, often enough. And I feel like they did this very nicely, where it's kind of like we co-parent, and obviously there's stuff that annoys me about you because like we broke up and there has been reasons for this, and you know, but they still co-parent pretty nicely. And it's also this kind of like thing, specifically with his ex-wife, where you can tell she cares about him a lot, but she cares about herself more that she left kind of situation, which is good for her. But she still cares about him, obviously, and it's just this kind of like nice bit of like, I'm happy I moved on from this, but like we were friends, like they were friends before, if I remember correctly, before they even got married. So it's like obviously there's like a deep connection to all of this, and I feel like that was done very, very nicely. So I did like this, I did enjoy this. Then we have another one, which is Nora Goes Off Script. Did not rate this in my story graph. If I remember correctly, the first half was a bit slow. Then it got very, very good. Like, loving it, good. And then I think towards the end, there was kind of like a pullback, like a very unnecessary, spoiler alert, unnecessary pullback where they basically broke up, I think. Basically broke up, and then there was like a period of them not talking, and then they got back together right at the end, if I remember that correctly. That I felt like was kind of unnecessary. Still good though. 3 point. Honestly, no. I'm giving this a 4, and this is a 3.75 then, because it was a bit slow in the beginning, and the ending I found very, very annoying. Yeah. Then the next book, I'm gonna put this up somewhere, is Animal Farm. It was an ebook, so I obviously don't have a copy. It was okay. I didn't rate it. I didn't particularly love it, but it was like, it was kind of like my on-the-go book. Like I had it on my phone, on my Kindle app, and whenever I didn't have a book, didn't play on my phone, whatever kind of, I don't know, like on the go, sometimes I read a couple pages, and I think that massively kind of like played a role in me not liking it a lot, because I never stuck to the story, I never stuck to the book itself, and it was just like here and there, bits here and there, but not continuously reading. And I think I would have probably liked it more then if I like would have stayed in the story, you know, like, because every single time you kind of have to get back into it when you read, and then at some point you're in it, and then lucky at the point where I was just getting back into it, I stopped reading again. Yeah. I don't know, 2.75, 3 stars maybe. I didn't rate it, so I'm just going off the top of my head. Next one, this is so 50-50. Okay, next one is She Must Be Mad. Didn't rate this. I hated this. Not because it's a shit book, I'm sure it is brilliant, but I started this, then I didn't like it, so I put it down, didn't touch it for ages, and then I went back into it, and I just didn't find my spot with it. Like, I feel like this, like my setting, the moment I read it was not good, so I feel like the combination of all of this made me really not like this. I feel like maybe in like a year or two, I have to get back into it, read it again. Hopefully not as biased as I am right now, but I'm sure it's very, very good. It's not like the writing is fine, it's good. It just at the moment was not for me, which I feel like weighs massively into how I feel about this. But it is what it is, guys. Then we have a more Instagram story poetry. Pillow Thoughts 2, I think I've read Pillow Thoughts 1 in 24, maybe 23, I don't know. Same kind of thing, very, very basic. It does the job, it works. Didn't rate it on here, but you know, probably is still in line with the other ones. And then we have, okay, so this, I didn't rank this either, but we have Harry Styles, The Making of a Modern Man. It's kind of like a biography memoir thing written by Sean Smith. I don't know. The thing is, I bought this because I was like, oh, Harry Styles, I like Harry Styles. Didn't really think about what is in there. It's basically just like his life. But the thing is, as a diehard One Direction fan and a diehard Harry Styles fan, everything in this basically, or like the big parts of it, I knew already. So it was very boring for me to read. Not because it's shit, but just because I already knew. And I was like, I'm not learning anything. What are we doing here? So it took me a long time. Like I read like the first half, then put it down for ages, like literally probably a year, and then went back to it in 2025, and I was like, okay, might as well just finish this. Because I thought about DNFing it, but I hate DNFing books. I don't know, maybe that's just me though. I don't know. I don't like DNFing books, so I didn't want to DNF it. So I just pushed through. I think I also at some point, like the last, like very, very last bits, I think I listened to the audiobook because I was like, oh, can't be bothered to sit down and read this. But I want to finish it. The thing is, it's a good book if you don't know a lot about Harry Styles and his kind of like career and like early days, and then, you know, how he changed from being in a group to a solo career. But I knew all of it anyway. So there was really no point for me reading this. But still good. And then probably my favorite read of the year, 4.25 stars, might have to up it to 4.5 logi, is The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. I love this. I read this recently-ish in October, I think. Yeah, finished in October. Very, very sweet, part of a series. Probably you guys have heard of this. It's book 2, I believe. It's a small town thing. I love their chemistry. I love how obsessed he is with her, like in the sweetest way. Really, really enjoyed this. Still obsessed with the cover and the finish and everything. I definitely want to read more books of this series. Maybe this year, maybe in 2027, we'll have to see. Funnily enough, when I bought this, I think it was only this and the first book out, and now I think it's like 5 or 6, 7 maybe. I don't know. I've literally lost track. Like I have no idea whatsoever. Like there's at least 4 or 5, I know this, but yeah, it's like this cutesy little, wait, I'm gonna show you that. It's like, it's called Dream Harbor, and you get a little like sketch of the city and everything. So yeah, it's very, very sweet. Probably my favorite read of the year. Maybe I'll get back into the series in 2026. We'll see how it goes. And then the last one, guys, this is bullshit. Big bullshit. So basically, the last book is They by Kay Dick, and I probably read this for 3 years. I wish I was joking. It is 107 pages. Let's stick to 100. So not long, not at all. It's probably very good. I'm saying probably because I finished it. I didn't like it. 1.5 stars, which I feel like was very nice of me to do 1.5. The only reason I did 1.5 and not less is because I think it's me being stupid and not getting the point. That is the bottom line. So basically, started this, I was kind of like, ooh, intriguing writing style. Had a headache doing mental acrobatics, understanding what is happening. So I put it down. Long time, like probably like a year or 2. Tried to get back into it. Didn't catch me. Didn't get back into it. Put it down again. And then I was like, I'm going to finish this year. Like in 2025, I was like, this has to be finished. So I did finish it. It took a lot of convincing and a lot of tricking myself into reading it, and a reading date with a friend where I forced myself to read. And having this as my purse book. If you guys know me, I like to keep a book in my purse, maybe at all, like almost at all times. I had this in my purse. I read this on my way to work, even if it was just 2 pages. I was like, a page is a page, one page closer to the end. The thing is, so many times, and I feel like I've read reviews on this, and I never write a review. I give stars sometimes, but I never write a review. I did with this. I gave 1.5 stars, and I put a review, and I was like, literally, I can read it to you guys. Wait, let me see. I put no idea what the fuck happened in this book. Took me ages and loads of mental acrobatics to finish. Maybe it's the book, or maybe I'm just very stupid. And this is exactly how I feel about this. I think maybe I just don't have the capacity to get it. But there were so many moments where, specifically when going from one chapter to the next one, I was so confused at like the setting and where everyone is and like who is everyone. And I don't know if it's because of the writing style or if I'm just fucking stupid or whatever, but there was literally only 2 kinds of reviews. People being like, oh my god, 4 or 5 stars, this is bloody brilliant, this is like the best thing I've ever read in my life. And then people like me where I was like 1 or 2 stars and it's like, this is fucking shit. No, it's not shit, sorry, that was very mean. But it's kind of like, I don't get this, what the fuck is happening? Maybe I'm stupid, maybe not, maybe it's the book, maybe it's me, maybe it's a combination of both. Don't get it, you know. Maybe in like 5 or 10 years I have to go back to this and read it again, figure out if it was me, if it's a bloody book. I don't know. I think I remember Jack Edwards saying he read this and he thought it was brilliant. If by chance, which is probably not going to happen, if Jack Edwards, if you ever stumble across this video, please enlighten me. For whatever reason you would watch this, but if you do, please let me know what is going on here. I feel like he's so much like smarter than me, specifically when it's about books and literature, bless him. Yeah, I didn't like it. Maybe in a couple of years I have to go back, figure out if maybe it's good and it just wasn't the moment. I don't know. Just a bit complicated. I feel like maybe if I had someone give a very good review on this with good details, kind of like a summary to understand the storyline, I feel like maybe if I then went back I would get it. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe I just have to burn this. No. But it's gonna be in my shelf like this because I have like unread books like this, which you see is a lot. Read books like this, so they're kind of like out of sight, out of mind, you know, if they're in the shelf. And it will be in my shelf like this, and I will never have to look at it again. Bottom line of this. This was my kryptonite for like 3 years. Hate this. And it's bloody embarrassing to say it took me 3 years to finish a 100-page book. But what the fuck is this? Anyway, that was all of our 15 books. Let's hope 2026 will be a bit of a better reading year with even more like very good books in it. I might go back to give reviews, like give stars to the books I did not rate. And then if I do that, I'll put up the final score, because right now I think it's like 3.63 like on average, which I feel like will be way higher if I actually rated all of them. If I do rate all of them, I'm going to put the final score here. If not, we stick to 3.63 for now. But yeah, this was my reading wrap of 2025. Let me know what your goal is for 2026, or if you reach your goal for 2025, to be honest, because I was so far off, like 15 out of 30. What is that? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you found a good book you really want to read, or stay away. I don't know. Yeah. Always, obviously, it's very personal bias. Always take this with a grain of salt if I judge a book, obviously. But I know you guys are smart enough to figure that out yourselves. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.